What's going on, guys? We're going to be starting very soon, so bear with me and we'll be starting up very soon. What's going on, Simon? Hope you're well. As I said a minute ago, we will be starting very soon. Just making a couple of final little adjustments to something I want to show you guys. Three minutes till we start, guys. 3 minutes until we start. What is going on, my people? How we doing? What's up, guys? I hope all is well. I've just been working on something really interesting that I think you guys will enjoy. So we showcased a couple of scenarios that we could see yesterday. One of them was running this high, and if you have a look, what did we do here? We ran the high, we tapped in perfectly. We're now running down towards that target. So simple, so crisp. It is a very nice entry. Now, this, in theory, gave the initial entry during market close, so our order would not be in place. Now, the second entry wasn't delivered until 3 a.m. So unfortunately, these are only examples. These trades we were looking to get in, bid and get in. Yeah, I remember you, Simon. I remember you. Yeah, you was posting content at one point. I remember you was live streaming and stuff, and I came across and said hi on there a few times. I hope you're well, my man. Change your name. So, what I wanted to show you guys was something I've been working on over the last few, I was going to say days, but I'll say over the last few weeks, because it's been honestly quite quite long-winded to get to this point. So just to give you guys a bit of a rundown, I have no experience in coding at all. Zero. Absolutely none. It's a completely new world to me. So it's not something that's very easy, I can tell you that. But with the help of AI and my own research, I've been able to develop a Pine script which will deliver just like the just like the 15, well, not the 15-minute, but just like the imbalance detector helps us when it comes to defining a directional move, excuse me, after a sweep. This is going to now help us define when those sweeps are occurring. You can go and check any of the indicators on TradingView, and none of them highlight the highs and lows that we want. None of them do it. They might highlight some, but none of them highlight all of them. So I have created a Pine script that does that. And you guys are going to see the prototype right now. It's right here. Keep it simple entry. Now, when we go into the settings, you will see that we have some settings in here. We have some options for basic stuff, so max amount of lines and so on. Color for lines that are crossed. And what's going to do is it's going to allow you to do the same thing it does with the imbalance indicator. So you can set an alert on here. Can I set an alert on here? Okay. I will update that in a second. You're going to be able to set an alert on here. And then with that, it's going to allow you to be hands-free for a lot of the major structural points that are formed. You can literally set an alert, let it do its thing. When that alert goes off, have your alert ready on the Lux algo, and then you've got both of those points alerted automatically. So you're going to know when the entry's coming. And all you're going to do is reference your higher time frame point to be able to then target it, right? So for example, if I delete all of the, well, not delete, but I get rid of all the stuff here, okay? We know our daily bias here is down. No, up, sorry. We had up from here, right? So we're looking at 4-hour highs and lows. Well, I am anyway. We're looking at 4-hour highs and lows being swept out to determine going long or going short, right? Let me turn this on. And you can see, might be kind of hard to see, but there is lows that are swept, highs that are swept, lows that remain, highs that remain. So there's going to be clear points where you're going to be able to follow the price action. Let me change the color of this, make it easier for you guys to see. Okay, you can see it now. So there's going to be clear points you can follow the price action when it's swept out. So if we're looking for price to go long, all you're going to need to do is have your alert set on this. Then as soon as you sweep it, you can go down to the 15-minute, like here, for example, and then you can define where you'd be looking for price to go long from. So for example, we'd be looking for a long move from here, right? So that in itself is going to work so nicely in conjunction with the imbalance indicator. Now, we are going to develop our own indicator to work with this. Like I say, this is being built by somebody that has zero zero experience in the coding industry, and this is all heavily coding based. Now I'll show you what it looks like. Down here it's just under 100 lines of code. It's a lot of smush, right? Now I don't know if that's written well or not, because I haven't really done a lot of the writing. I've done more of the problem troubleshooting, if you were. But we're going to start to use this in a very simple way. So it's literally just going to be a case of, unless your alerts go off, you don't need to do anything. Simple as that. I kind of started doing herping content instead. Herping? Catching snakes and lizards? Really? Fair enough. I mean, look, this is what I've always said, right? If you enjoy something, there's always going to be people out there that enjoy it as well. So enjoy it, my man. Honestly, it sounds kind of fun. Where are you doing that? Like, obviously, I know you're doing it on YouTube, but like, what kind of region are you doing it? Are you doing it like America or Spain? Somewhere like that. Oh, also, we gave out this trade yesterday to the VIPs. So clean, right? And just to prove I'm not talking out my backside, I'll show you that right now. Right there. See, potential for short from here. Order will not be held over close, obviously. And yeah, that's where we've run from. Tapped in. Beautiful. Now we're looking for it to run down into those lows. So yes, great. I'm currently located in Thailand, going to exotic tropical rainforests and teaching people about different species that occur in these areas. Dude, that's awesome. I love that. That is awesome. I mean, personally, I'd be too excuse me. I'd be too scared I'm gonna get bitten. But that's awesome. Love that. Deep south of Thailand. Wow. Well, enjoy, my man. Enjoy. Well, you're in the Discord, Simon, right? And if you are, then post those videos in the Discord. I'd love to see those. Andre, what's going on? Good morning, my man. Akram, what's going on, brother? Hope you're well. Just before you guys arrived, I was just showcasing the Keep It Simple Entry V1 indicator I've been working on. Nick's back in Thailand. There you go. Look, got someone to take on your tour. Hope you're all good, guys. Hope you're all good. So yeah, this indicator is open in PineScript right now because I'm still tweaking it. This is just the V1. But what it does is it allows us to have, I was just showcasing this a minute ago. It allows us to have alerts on our 4-hour highs and lows. And it will show you the highs and lows. Now, what we don't have integrated yet is the ability for us to see it across timeframes. But I don't think that's necessarily needed right now. I just need to add an alert to it. So there was an alert on it earlier, but it's somehow been removed. So I just need to add an alert on it, and then we can have it literally going off whenever it gives us an entry to, or whenever it hits a high or low, for example. So yeah, really, really simple, really nice and easy on the eyes. You know, it literally allows you to just have immediately highs and lows indicated. And like I said before, there is no indicator already available on the TradingView marketplace or TradingView platform that highlights the points of liquid that we are looking for. And like I said, it leaves the ones that, well, the ones that have been swept, it changes them to dotted lines so you know that they've been swept and they don't extend any further, and then all of the lines that do extend have not been swept yet. Now, of course, you would have a predefined bias, which we may well apply into this indicator, but this is the V1, so we are relatively, how would I say, infantile in the way that we're at with this right now. I also have zero coding experience, so it's not it's not a process that's easy. But like I said earlier, you know, with the help with a bit of AI, it's, you know, relatively smooth, except for if you hit like an issue with it, does something you don't want it to do, and then it does something else, and then it becomes a bit of a, you're chasing your tail. But it's just, as long as you're clear and you keep your instructions straight, you know, it generally delivers quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the alert version of this, because I do have it saved over here somewhere. So I'm just going to find that now. And then we can set up alerts with it, and we'll let it run, and you guys will know the second a high or low gets tagged. And then all we have to do is define what's going on in the 15-minute, right? So let's do that. Let's get that now. So I'm just going to find the version we had before. I believe. Oh, what version is it? Tricky one, that one. here. I'll be back in 1 second, guys. I'm just going to pop to the toilet while that's searching. What's going on? I'm back. So I think I found it. Oh yeah, we found it. So where are we? Okay, you're right. Okay. I was thinking about code an indicator that shows the probability of daily targets. Like today in Euro market was Monday low. We have a 90% probability it will get taken. It was fast short. Thank you, Uncle Putin. Took a DAX long, betting this is the low until 2025. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I like that. Do you have any coding experience, Akram? I think I've asked you this before. Okay, we've updated this now. Why are these different colors? Okay, they're not. They're back to normal now. There we go. Look at it. There we go. So we can set it on the forum. Well, you just set it. There we go. Now we know there's an alert set on this. So if it hits, it should come up on the screen. Nope, I'm still new, but I have a lot of ideas. Bit of advice for you, my friend. It's relatively hard. I'll give you an idea of right, so here, I don't know if you can see this. You see this right here? 165. That's the versions that I've created, and you can see here, these are all the different versions and the time that I'm making them. So just to get to where this is now, with highs and lows being shown, price capping at the point where it crosses over the line being, adjusted, and the alerts and the colorations and all this kind of stuff. Just for that, it's taken 165 different iterations. And I started yesterday actually modifying this version at 8:15 in the evening, and I didn't stop until 1:09. And then this morning I started at 9:20, and I didn't stop until, now. So that's a lot of hours, just to get to this point here. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it's a relatively windy path you're going to be traveling down. So just be prepared for that. Honestly, it's the fault finding that takes the longest. When you have an error that pops up, you adjust it, and then it causes an error somewhere else, and then it's just like it's like you're fixing a hole. You're fixing a hole in your boat by hammering a hole somewhere else, So it's just like you're taking a nail out of one hole and putting it in another, and it just causes another leak. Like, it's doable, 100% doable. 100% doable. Took to code the market? Yeah, well, yeah and no. Yeah. I don't personally believe it's coded as such. That's just my opinion. I believe that there are repeating patterns, but that's because the banks do the same thing every day when they move their money. This was another thing as well. Let me show you this. So I'm just going to bring this over. So you see how this high is technically a high, but it's not actually confirmed yet, and this high as well is technically a low. Oh, sorry, this low is technically a low, but it's not confirmed yet because this candle's still running. That was a big issue early on. It was just it was just something that needed to be adjusted, very small thing that needs to be adjusted. It was just only allowing the indicator to be shown once the confirmation candle that has closed, pretty much. Making the indicator with your own playbook is worth it. 100%, dude. 100%. It's worth it. Hard work, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah, definitely worth it. So the next things that I'm going to add in, hopefully, are multi-time frame viewability. So the highs will remain visible on lower time frames. Because at the moment you go down to like the 15-minute, you can't see them. Okay. Also, I want to add in the ability for when this comes down, takes this out, and it gives you a money in, money out. Then we can highlight either the money in or the money out based off what direction your higher time frame bias is. So it's ultimately going to be 3 indicators: daily bias indicator, the entry indicator, which is this one, and then the money in, money out indicator. So the idea is to run them all 3 together, but I believe that is like a super complex coding principle and process. So instead, what we're going to try and do is create them separately and then run them all at the same time. If anyone has any experience with coding and that they want to lend a hand, then don't hesitate to reach out because I appreciate all the help. Nasdaq, yeah, I'm expecting it to sell, to be honest. I've got the sell position here that, oh, well, it's actually not here. I'm expecting it to run down through the lows. Right now in the middle of the market crash, Nasdaq could go to 16,514. Possibly. Dollar will go to 92. Oil 40. I mean, there's potential. There's always potential. There's always potential. For me, I'm just following what we have. That's just something I've realized, you know. I try not to predict too far into the future now. But if you've got the ideas down on your chart, or you know, you've got them, yeah, down on your chart, post them in the Discord. Definitely love to see them. Definitely love to see them. So I think we're going to clean up some of our charts because we now have an indicator that's going to show us most of the stuff we have. We don't need to have all of our highs and lows highlighted anymore. We can just, there we go, just run in for us. And for example, you may be wondering, well, why isn't this highlighted? And why isn't this highlighted? Well, that's down to the amount of highs and lows that are set per limit. So if you say here you want to increase that, you'll see it will start to highlight, previous points. I think 6 is a good amount because then you have ultimately 6 highs and 6 lows. So I want to add in some other points of adjustability as well. USD to 131, have a swing short. I believe I'm still biased long on this at the moment. We swept out the previous lows. If we print this here, I'll be looking for that to go long. Again, this is just me following my rule set, and I'm not looking to predict too far into the future. Let's see. So I believe we were bias short on oil. Excuse me. Yes, we were. We swept the high. We've had a bullish to bearish move here. So potential for more downside here, targeting the low. Definitely some good potential for shorts there. Quite sure enough, is it getting cold in the UK? Definitely is. Got to be in line with the cycle. I was doing research on the carry trade. If we get in line with it, we could have a massive move. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I always say the same thing. There is potential for either sides of the market all of the time. It only takes, you remember this environment we're in is the most fragile environment. It is such a fragile environment. It literally takes one thing that doesn't even necessarily need to be true, and it can cause catastrophic moves in either direction. So yeah, I would say that there is 100% almost a guarantee of a large move in one direction or the other. Now, what direction it's going to be, you will not know until the actual thing happens. I personally think that there's still room for some continuations of where we are right now. We have obviously had daily lows swept out. So let's go back to here. We've had daily lows swept out, so there's potential for price to follow the basis of sweep the daily low, continue to a point of value. This one, which is where we're sitting right now. We have the sweep of a daily low. Now you see here that's your counter move. With liquidity above the highs. So play with the probability. Yeah, but what I'm saying is the probability is based around either way. You know, it could go either direction. But yeah, look, it's one of those things where it's either going to go up or it's going to go down, right? Now, when I look into things, I only look into things for the timeframes that are relevant for me. I used to spend a lot longer looking into the higher time frames, so I know exactly what you're saying. You can get in line with some good high time frame moves. I still believe that the US dollar has some strength in it personally, so I'd be wagering price going the other way. But again, it's not about who's right or wrong, and obviously you know this as well. In terms of direction, it's about what can you capitalize on, because you could be completely wrong in direction but still capitalize on something good, right? We've just taken out the low, like I stated. So if we see this gap remaining, there's potential for a long move out of here, with this being the point of protection for it. So it's not the best RR overall, but it would lead you back into these target highs that I've got marked. This is why we need the multi-time frame visibility. Positive swap. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's not very often you can have that. Obviously, swaps only work if you're holding overnight, but you're doing long-term investment, right? Like you said. What's your opinions on things that Dixie got strength on? I haven't looked at that Dixie chart in a long time. It's based off of the principle where we're sitting on the rest of the pairs, because they obviously give you a pretty good idea of what the DXY is doing. And one of my main ones is, if you see the pure aggression is pushing up through those highs, right? It's taken out 3 highs here, so I'm looking for it to come and take out this high. Now, based off of purely technical, hang on, is that? Wait, it's visible on the daily time frame? Hold on, wait a minute. How? Hang on, I was having big issues trying to do that earlier. 1 second, let me see. It's working. No, it's not working. Is it working? No, I don't know what the fuck that's highlighting on the on the daily time frame. Not a clue what that's highlighting. It's highlighting something, but not what I want it to be highlighting. So, okay, we've got some issues with that. But okay, regardless, let's go back to the DXY. So yeah, the main principle is, for me, and you know this as well, until we see true institutional involvement against this bias, I'm just expecting it to keep going up. That's all I'm doing at the same time, right? And the reason I say this is because if you apply that concept and understanding to pretty much any point here, it gives you a pretty consistent overlay. Now, let's follow this back up, right? If you applied that same logic here, you would have had bullish, bullish, bullish until this point where you see a reasonable sell-off. Then price consistently goes down and doesn't make a bullish gap until here. Then you have a short push, which doesn't really give you anything. Then you have bearish, bearish, bearish. Then you have a bullish opening and price goes consistently bullish again. This is daily charts, so you're talking, months and weeks. That's my logic here. So right now, until I see a gap down, bias bullish. Again, that's not bringing in fundamentals or anything like that, because I don't really look at that stuff, because I don't have pretty much the understanding to be able to say, oh, this is going to massively affect it. Now, I know the basic fundamentals around the US dollar, the economy, all that kind of stuff, but in terms of macro, like lots of individual points, I don't have the education to know what it means, right? So based off of my rule set and my understanding of existing data, I'm just going off of what I have, and what I have is a bullish bias. So yeah, there is no major like, oh, this, this reason sort of thing. It's just a case of, this is the principle that I'm running off of. I know that it consistently delivers, so I'm just going to follow that. And this is, again, the beauty of it is we can have these discussions in this live stream where I'm going to show you something that I'm following regardless of how I feel or what I think the news is going to do. And other people will come with their ideas. And it's great. That is the kind of thing. This is why the Discord is a thing. This is why I created the trading floors, because trading floor environments are based around that. People have ideas, people have principles they follow, and sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't. And a lot of the time, one's going to be right, one's going to be wrong. So that's the beauty of it. And that's why I always say, if you guys have an opinion on something or you have an outlook, let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. I'll tell you why I don't agree, or I'll tell you why I do agree. And you can maybe use that to adjust what you think, if that's the way you're inclined. Or you can do what I do and just stick to your guns and know that you're not going to be right 100% of the time. So, really good, guys. And this is why I always say, the amount of value people can gain from this live stream alone. Yes, we might not be giving you trade ideas every 20 minutes. But we're going to give you real valuable insights into the real world ideas that people have and the real world things that people are doing. So this is another thing as well. Look at all of these targets. Look at all these target highs. For me, that is a super dense area of liquidity. Take it easy, Akram. There you go, brother. Have a good one, my friend. I will see you soon. There's a lot of liquidity resting above these highs, so I'm looking for a nice push through and a run of these highs. So I just need to log into my business email quickly, guys. Bear with me. So what's everyone else looking at for today? Remember, we have some high impact news this afternoon, I believe. Let's see. News at 1:30. US CAD red folders. Yes, I thought so. Yeah, I did think there was. So, got here. View. See. Okay. Right, so let's go over to Euro here. Akram said he longed GU. For me, I'm still bias short. I believe there's a few of you that are bias short as well. We have relative equal lows at the base here. This is only a counter move. Remember, we only expect this sweep to deliver to a higher point of liquid to then drop down. Now, sometimes it doesn't get there. So when you've got price running for this sort of time period where it runs all the way up, comes all the way back down, we would expect the orders here to be most of the time removed by the time price gets down to this level. Not always. Doesn't mean that it's not going to continue up to the highs. We've got to remember, if we're following the rule set, then we have to look at this being a counter conditional move. So I need. So I'm just getting some information here, guys, for my company. HMRC login. That's what we need. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, so we're looking for pricing to deliver lower on NAS, but like we said before, there is potential for this to travel up because of the fact of we sitting at the lowest point within the range. Doesn't mean that we're going to trade it higher, it just means there is a point that this could decide to go up higher. But the trade that was given here was tapped in hours ago, so it's not something you'd still be holding. That's the beauty of it. Just to add one for every chart, and then we know the second that it runs through, we can start to follow it. Bias bearish on this. So again, same thing. Super simple. Pretty sure we've already got an alert set on this. Target high is shown. So remember guys, we do have an automated bot that is going to be coming out very soon. There's no deadline on it, but it's coming out relatively soon. If you would like early access to that bot and an exclusive discount on launch, as well as being in with a chance of winning it completely free, then you can do that following the Join REA Trading Bot shortlist in the chat right now. All you have to do is follow that link, fill out the short form, just some basic information, and then you'll be straight on the shortlist. As soon as there's any developments or a release, you will be notified. When we drop the first set of automated test results across a longer period of time, we're going to send them out directly to all of the shortlist members, so you guys get to see what the bot is capable of before anyone else. See here. So let's see if we get an alert go off on this. Let's see. Right now we're just waiting. Gonna link my phone up to the PC here. Need to cross some information over. We have this as a low potential. So remember what we said earlier, that the bias here was for shorts on EJ. Come back down to 4 hour. If we stay within this range move, then when this is formed in an hour and 45, this will become a new high. Yep, TP1, 5-minute order flow and DAX. Nice, brother. No hindsight. Look at this here. 40. 7-1. Rightio. Let's have a look. Well, we got German 40 here, right? So a lovely little sweep of 4-hour liquid. 15 minutes still forming that point here. Like this. I don't trade DAX, but for anyone that's interested, there's your potential there if you have a bullish bias. Now I believe we have a bearish bias, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so this would be in theory a counter trend move. This is also a daily low, so there is potential for price to move into a bullish bias here. Don't know what the hell that is. Oh, it's because we're on the daily time frame, yeah. So there is potential for a counter move here. But we are biased bearish on this, so for me, we'd still expect this to run down here. Again, remember, I don't trade the DAX. This is just applying the principle and the rule set that we follow upon DAX. We still have 11 minutes for this to close, so it may not even leave a space for us. Euro A, we're still looking for that high area to be swept. Nice run of the highs here on gold. Is that highlighted as well? No. Waiting lower price on GU. Stop break even DAX, didn't switch the order flow. Let's see, no, we didn't switch order flow, you're right. So this is the idea. To evolve the indicator that I've got right now to have the low, then depict the area if it changes the order flow. So in theory, when the alert goes off, it would say long entry given on German 40. And then all you need to do is set your alert on that point. So definitely potential for that. Going to expand the code more and add some features and tweak a few bits. This morning it's absolutely smashing it down. I got soaked. Absolutely soaked. Turned up at the office like a drowned rat. Remember our target lows down here. Okie dokie. Honestly, it's almost as slow as it was yesterday. Almost. But not quite. Back in two, guys. Bear with me. Right, we're back, baby. Just had to go and get a cleaning cloth out of my bag. Just cleaning the screen. I'm real good at getting fingerprints and marks all over my screen. So when it comes to recording content off of them, they look terrible. Luckily for me, I have a couple of cleaning cloths that work a treat. Also guys, in the Discord, I would love to see your guys' setups, whether you've got a basic MacBook, whether you've got a 20 monitor setup. I would love to see your setups. Some people trade off of a tablet, you know. The amount of screens doesn't change the way you look at the market, so ultimately I'm interested to know how people what people are trading, what they're using to trade. I have one creaky ass chair, I know that much. So we haven't had any alerts go off yet, which means we've not swept any liquid, or not at least any new points of liquid. So let's see, we're going to set an alert here on GU. Sorry, UJ. GU was still looking to run down, lower into these lows. German 30 never gave us that change in direction that we were talking about. What have we got going on then? What have we got going on? That's the question of the week. What have we got going on? And we actually have an entry to the high. Euro GBP entry to the high. Now, again, we didn't take this. Now, there's a reason why I wasn't really too bothered about looking at this, and that was because the fact that we swept this low, and then we came all the way back up to here, right? Before we even started putting in a gap to the upside. So what that tells us is our entry has to be placed here, and our stop is placed here, which for me is not something that I'm interested in being involved in, with my stop being this big. That would give me ultimately a 1-to-1, which may be fine with some people's criteria, but for me I want to see more than a 1-to-1, because then that allows you to operate at a lower hit rate. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to operate at a lower hit rate, but would you rather be protected for a lower hit rate than have to rely on a high hit rate? So yeah, as far as what am I saying? As far as EG price action, we're looking for this to run to the high now. That's what we'd expect. We'd expect it to follow on from the low that it swept out, which was here, follow up into these highs. Relatively simple. That's what we'd expect. Our bias is bullish on this, so we'd expect that, right? Simple. Same as this right here. This is what I was explaining. The principle of this would have to be down under this liquid low, which again is okay, but it's not ideal, because it means you're going to have to ride the longer term move to be able to get out of that sort of 3R region. It turns into a lot larger move rather than us being able to capitalize from, let's say, here to here. If we had a tighter stop or a tighter entry, it could take us 1 to 4 there, whereas we're looking now higher and higher, which the higher we go, as we know, even though we're trending, the higher your targets, the less probable they are that they get hit. It's just simply the way it goes. And it's always going to be the same thing. Whenever you have an entry that's given, the further away your targets are, the less probable it is for that target to be hit. It's like this, right? Euro A. Beautiful tap in. You run it to that low, that's a 1 to 8. Beautiful, you TP, you're out. You aim for this low, yeah, you're going to go like 1 to 20, but the probability of it running straight down to here is a lot less. It just simply is, just the way it goes. And if we get rid of the drawings here, see the way that we swept these highs here, and if we increase the amount of lines, let's say 10, maybe even more than that, you can see the point that that's, why is that not being counter swept? And that's not being counter swept either. Let's see. There we go. So you can see the principle that I was saying here. You've taken out this high and this high, giving you a really clean sweep, and you had a lot of liquid sitting down in these lows. So you got like, you had, at the time of this being swept, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lows all just sitting in here. Whereas at the high, that was your only high, and then the next one's way up, and then this was the newly formed high. So collectively you had like 3 maximum. Now we've put in another high, so we may come back, grab that, continue down. High potential for that. Probability tells us though, longer term move is going to come down, take out the low. Okay. The fact that we've still had no alerts go off is crazy. That's so close to being met right there. Even though it doesn't hold much value for us because these are targets, not points of entry. Charlie just sent me a message saying that Hudson was playing with his teddy and his book, just playing with it, and then she looked over and he's just fast asleep with the book on his face and the teddy on his face. Okay, so nothing going on here yet. Have we got an alert on this? I don't know. Euro GBP, Euro USD, Euro NZD, Euro Oh, UJ. Oh, we got 2 for UJ. Okay, let's get rid of that then. Okay, so we'll set 1 for this. So if you'd like access to the keep it simple indicator, we are going to be releasing it once it is finished. So imagine the trading bot. Let's say you're on the EA shortlist and you get it for free. You get the trading bot. You've got the indicator. All you need to do is wait for that notification on your phone. Wait for the notification or on your laptop. Set the limit when it tells you to and let it run. The only time you need to be playing around with it is when you're managing it. It's the only time. Excuse me. The bot is going to run completely autonomously in the background. The indicator is going to run, again, completely autonomously in the background. All you need to do is keep an ear out for when it's time to set a limit. That's it. And that's why these live streams don't really have a huge amount of me being like, right, here's the trade, you have to take this here with this, this, and this, because there's so little for us to do while price is, you know, doing its thing and moving around. Until it gets to a point that's relevant for us, it just keeps moving. And there's no point us saying you could enter here or you could enter there or this could be or that could be. Unless we know by probability it is, it becomes something that you're essentially trying to predict every single movement in the market, which is not a clever game to play. I've said this before and I'll say it again. There's always going to be some guru on Instagram, on YouTube, on X, on any of these platforms, any of the social media platforms, right? And they're going to tell you that you can trade for 2 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day or an hour a day, and you can make X amount and everything is groovy, dandy, sweet. All you need to do is just this. Just sign up to this or do this. When in reality, you know, 90% of people that actually come into the trading industry do not have time to sit on the chart for an hour. At least not during the times that they want or they tell you should. Okay, you need a lot of freedom to be able to do that. The Keep It Simple system and all of the systems that I teach and show you give you that freedom from the chart. It gives you the ability to detach from the chart while still being in tune with what is actually happening. And these indicators are taking us one step closer to being able to completely automate 90% of the work. You know, the 10% of the work is you being a robot coming to your chart and going limit, stop loss, risk, TP, execute. Right? It takes that work out of the trading itself, and it also takes discretionary points out of it. It also takes the misanalysis of traders that are new or inexperienced. So it's just a really, really simple way of being able to get the same context. Now, what I want to do is I want to try and add some more features into this. I want this to be like a serious indicator by the end of the week. So there's definitely a few things I want to add into it. If you want to get this indicator when I drop it, or you want to be one of the testers of this indicator, then just drop me a message in Discord or put it in the Discord channel, you know, one of the Discord channels, and just let me know that you want to help out. And I will happily drop you a little indicator on there. But I think once it is complete and it's working, I think it's going to have to be monetized. Now, the reason I say that is because it's going to be our complete system in one package, which ultimately is, how would I say? It's worth loads. So it's definitely going to have to be a paid for indicator once it is complete and it is running in every single aspect. But for the initial testing and things, if people want to help out, then I'm happy to let them do so. On that note, guys, I think we're just going to set some alerts for this afternoon, which we already have. And we're just going to let things run. Now, the reason I say that is because right now we are honestly pretty static. We're getting towards 1 p.m, so New York Open is going to be coming. We just need to see if New York Open is going to deliver us some nice moves. I have to be home before New York Open, as I need to look after my son. My partner's got hairdressing to go and do. So I won't be around for New York Open. But you guys can and will be able to follow the market as I've shown you time and time again. So don't hesitate to go and do it. So on that note, I think we're going to wrap things up here, guys. I appreciate everyone for joining me. Really do. And like I say, keep an eye out for updates on the bot. If you're not already on the shortlist, then you can join that with the link below. All the good stuff down below. If you want to find any of the links, you can find them in the description. But tomorrow we're going to be streaming through the New York session. So it's going to be a little bit more volume, a little bit more lively. Hopefully we'll have some more developments on the indicator to show you. And I will hopefully be able to give you some more updates. So guys, I appreciate everyone for joining me. Thank you very much for all the love and support as always, and I will see you all in tomorrow's live stream. Remember, if you haven't watched the latest Keep It Simple videos, head down to the Keep It Simple playlist and give those a watch. Of course, hit the comment and like if you do enjoy it. And I will see you all in the next one, guys. Peace out. Much love.